A super thanks to begin today's Cowboys mailbag. $2 from Mighty Ant. I think Pickens was a expletive deleted because it's early in the video. Don't want to get flagged for it. Because he had no good quarterback play. That was a factor. I think in general, immaturity has long been a concern for George Pickens. It dates back to his college days. Is this the right ecosystem for him? Fingers crossed. The upside makes it worthwhile as a gamble. Also, from Mighty Ants, I'm Cowboys Slice, but Tom, anything about the Saints now with no Derek Carr after retirement? Tyler Shuck, spelled wrong. It's how it's pronounced. It's Shough, pronounced Shuck. I don't know. Weird. I'm always concerned when players cannot pronounce their own name properly. Huge red flag. Only half kidding. I think he starts, but it's not. Like, I don't think he's going to be very good. I think he's going to be like an average at best QB. Like, I think he's going to be more of a career backup type. Like, I think the Saints will probably be picking top 5 again next year. Not again, but picking top 5. Those came in via Super Thanks. Feature here on YouTube. Allows you to donate outside of live videos. Click that thanks icon. Edit your message. Whatever you send in, we will give you some love on the show. Karen, I'm going to pronounce it do good. So I'm going to pronounce it. Keep hearing about this breaking news, a new trade a few minutes ago, but I can't find out who it is. One of two things happened here for Karen. Number one, it was the old George Pickens trade news. Number two, there are a handful of, I don't even call them actual channels. It's like AI-generated nonsense in which they, pretend that news has happened and treat it as such. There's a handful of those channels out there that just, they straight up spread, breaking news, this trade happened, and it's, not at all factual. So that, you might have got by that one. Busta T, any hope for Breece Hall? I probably wouldn't get your hopes up. I understand why you have interest. I think he would help your running back room, becomes your RB1. I'm not mad at it at all. But I also kind of question, why would the Jets do that? The Jets are then going to run it with Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen. That's when you're going to run the ball a lot with Justin Fields. I think that they're more inclined to keep him. Now, other stuff happens. Maybe Hall gets really disgruntled. That could be an issue. But I don't think they're going to just give him away in the end. I kind of think this team is done making, the big splashy move, which I think Hall would fall in that category before camp. But what do you think? Why for yes and for no? Should the Cowboys make another trade before training camp? It's the pinned comment on today's show. The outcomes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Lucid, what DT should we trade for? I think, a realistic guy who, might be available is Andrew Billings. I think I would look at, the Bears roster with a new coaching staff in there. You're coming over from Matt Eberflus. He's got familiarity with those guys. Javon Dexter. They just brought in Shamar Turner. They brought in Grady Jarrett. Zach Pickens, Andrew Billings, Javon Dexter. One of those guys probably doesn't make their roster barring, injuries, which does happen. In which case, hey, maybe one of those could be an option for you. I even going further down that depth chart, Chris Williams was a player that is familiar with Matt Eberflus. Those are not big names, but I think they're actually pretty affordable names, too. BRY Nation. Bri? I'm going to go with Bry Nation like Brian. Thanks. I want them to get rid of Dalvin Cook. There's a super thanks that came in, by the way. Good news. Dalvin Cook is not on your team. The players who were on the practice squad, they have to be re-signed to futures deals. Dalvin Cook was not re-signed. I think that I kind of question if he's ever going to get a shot again in the NFL. Because if he couldn't crack that running back room rotation, I don't know what running back room he's going to crack it there. So in general, with this current running back room for the Cowboys, I want honesty here. What is your confidence level in it? Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue, Phil Maffa, maybe some Deuce Vaughn still. Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Crimson Cowboy, any UFL players keep an eye on as possible additions, particularly at positions of need? Probably not, honestly. I think where you're going to continue to see the UFL guys get their cracks are the specialists. Like special teamers maybe, kickers, punters, return men. That's where the Cowboys found Aubrey and Turpin. But like, you need a defensive tackle. It's probably not going to come from the UFL ranks when almost all those guys just didn't do well the first time around. Food Review. Long time no see to graduate of college. First up, congratulations, Food Review. What surprise extension is the most unsurprising? It's a good question. Honestly, I think the correct answer is Jake Ferguson. That is a player that I think is better with the quarterback in place, and I think he is most likely to take a team-friendly deal. That's my guess. Because, Tyler Smith ain't. Mike is not. I don't think Aubrey will. So I leave that to Ferguson, who the Cowboys may not want to extend, and maybe shouldn't want to extend either. But that one would be like there's every year there's they signed Leo Collins and Jalen Smith before the Zeke one. Like that does happen for this team. Of look, he took less. The deal will get done. Wonder if Ferguson ends up being that guy. Love if it was DeRon Bland. That'd be super fun. Now you can get the Tyler Booker rookie jersey and more 2025 NFL draft gear over at chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It'll showcase the rookie jerseys, hats, hoodies. There will also be a clickable link over there in the corner. chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft. JL Channel. Dak has a 9-4 record against them. They got Dallas by 7 in week 1. What's your thoughts on the Cowboys running back room? Blue and Maffa have potential. Good news, the Cowboys are big-time dogs opening up week 1. So some nice value on that front. I don't trust the backfield. I think there is the potential for more upside. It's different, too. It could be all new minus the fullback in Hunter Lipke. The potential of it is good enough. I think it's fine for now, but it's it's not critical condition, so to speak. But you have not been discharged yet from the hospital because they still need to monitor how things look for you. Jonas, George Pickens, over under 809.5 receiving yards. I would argue something bad probably happened if he didn't get to that figure. That's what he had last year. Now, he didn't have that many targets, frankly, in kind of a very conservative offense. So the target numbers probably don't change. The quality of targets should go up. Doesn't mean he does as much big play stuff, but that's going to be a little bit more fluky. But I like the over on that. I think it's probably a decent over-under because you factor in injury as a risk there. I'll take the over on that one. We'll have more Cowboys videos for you all off-season long. Do not miss out. Instead, hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Daniel, I think we need a DT in a corner before because the Eagles are going to do whatever they can to expose us. I don't want to get blown out by our rivals. I worry less about getting blown out by a rival, more like, is this team good enough? That's what I worry about. I do think you've named 2 good spots of concern. Defensive tackle and cornerback. I think that they need more. Especially early at corner. There is a very real scenario that week 1 it's Izzy in the slot, Bland at one corner, and maybe they don't want to risk Savone Rebel quite yet, or it's a 3rd-round rookie starting, or it's Kyer Elam and Kalen Carson, and someone's got a bad matchup. Or a good matchup for Philadelphia. Because Bland can't cover A.J. Brown at the same time. So that does worry me. Robert Simmons, is there any way we can re-sign Noah Igbinoghene from the Commanders when they cut him? I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I kind of think that Igbinoghene is going to stay with the Commanders. That was clearly a Dan Quinn guy. That was Dan Quinn signed him. Dan Quinn played him. Dan Quinn brought him back. I don't think he's going to get cut by Washington. I think he's going to stick around as, a potential starter for them. And the nickel, I should say. Tristan, DC for life. Cowboys signed Jadeveon Clowney. Question mark. I don't know why I act like there's going to be more words there. I don't think edge is a need for you. Now, if you get with a bunch of injuries, a Clowney, a Von Miller, etc., those names we can revisit. But why would Clowney sign with a spot that's got 3 second-round picks, Dante Fowler on a 1-year deal, and Micah Parsons? He's going to look for more guaranteed playing time. Whether it's corner or DT, somewhere else altogether, name a player who you want to add. Let me know in the comments of today's video. Everett Bonds, is there a way to get rid of Mingo and get back something for him? I think he is useless. And that is why the answer is probably no. Like, in general, there are exceptions. You just did it with him. Teams don't want your trash. That's not really how it goes. He's not making very much for you. He's making $1.55 million on the cap this year. It's actually more expensive if you cut him than just to keep him. So I don't think he ends up getting shopped. I'd be pretty surprised by that one, but his contract this year is fully guaranteed, and less than half it's fully guaranteed next season. So I think he's going to stick around. Tyler, if Steele continues to not look like his old self, you see a new line adjustment of Smith, Booker, Hoffman, Beebe, and Guyton going left to right. I would actually be extremely hesitant to change every single starting spot on my offensive line if one guy's not playing well. Like, in this scenario, and you're like, okay, we got to get a different right tackle in there. I will remind everyone, the Cowboys are higher on Steele than you are. I think they are excited about him bouncing back this year. But if it struggles, you could put Guyton over there. I would almost wonder if you're better off just putting in like Awesome Richards or a Johnny Cornelius, just like only changing one spot. If you want to put Guyton over there, his issues don't get fixed from going from left tackle to right tackle. I do want to emphasize that. In that case, I'm actually going to keep Beebe at center, Booker at right guard, and Hoffman can go play left guard. I think it's actually a negative to change your entire starting offensive line with one guy playing bad. I don't think you want that much change. Daniel, what about giving up a fifth for Jaire Alexander? Green Bay maybe has interest. They're kind of in a weird spot with him. The Cowboys would have to pay a ton of money for him. Let me double check the exact math here. Like, he might get more available here. Because the Cowboys would owe, I'm just double checking my math here, $17.5 million. They're not going to pay that. If he gets cut, I think it makes some sense. Otherwise, I don't think it happens.